because I need to upload this to YouTube. Okay, so what we're gonna do in this picture, I don't remember what we did in the last one. Okay, I want to first clean the skin, of course, because she needs, well, we need to take off these pimples. This is small pimples. Maybe change a little bit the color of the leaves, a little bit more bluish, maybe, to have like a kind of not contrast, but a color matching between the purple of her hair and the blue of the lips of the leaves of the lips. I want to erase this, and I guess I'm going to make the eyes pop a little bit more. Okay, so how we're gonna do this? We are gonna make a copy of this as easy as we can make a copy, if I'm not mistaken, doing this. Yeah, if you drag the copy here, you make a copy, like the layer. If you drag it here to this button, you make a new copy of layer, or you press Control. What is this one? Because I always confuse J with G. I guess it's J. Yeah, J. Uh, it's too small. This one. Fuck, it doesn't. it doesn't show at all. But this one, J, right? Okay. With Control J, you make a copy of this one, and I always like to make a copy, like sometimes another one to have a backup, and to have the original to compare, like before and after. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to clean her skin. Yeah, I guess that's the first thing that we should do. And I'm seeing this red spot, and I'm not sure how to clean that area without make it, because it's pretty big, but I'm not sure how to make it without make like a weird contrast, but I guess I have an idea. Okay, so let's start with a new layer. And with I guess the patch tool is gonna be fine, so I don't need the new layer. We're going to work on the copy of the layer. So I'm gonna take these areas, like the pimple area, and just example to another area that doesn't have anything, and do like this with maybe not all, and it's not because I'm lazy as fuck, but it's more of sometimes if you overdo it, you give a kind of a plastic texture to the skin. So like these ones, for example, like the more visibles, yes, but maybe these ones on the eyes, this one for example, is this one here, it needs to come as well with this one. Oh shit, right there. I cannot see if I don't have my phone. Stream manager. Okay, stream manager. Cool. So yeah, I cannot see the chat or anything if I don't have my phone. I forgot that. So I'm going just to delete with this tool, but also you can use, for example, this one, the clone stamp tool. With this one and Alt, you have like this kind of how do you say no, well, this kind of icon appears, right, where is the mouse, and with this one you just take example of where you want, more or less where it takes um like sample of the layer, or the texture, or whatever you want to say it, but it's not like the color, it's more like the texture. And you just paint above, and here you have the opacity and the flow. For me, I rather like uh, work on low opacity, and then use the stroke and go side by side to cover the area, instead of just increase the opacity and put just in one dot, because sometimes it give um like it's not that smooth, or is or doesn't, you see, like for example here it gives like a kind of dark area, so I have to repaint, but now it's a little bit white, so it's just like too strong. So I rather put the opacity around 10 to 15, depends on what I'm working, and just take examples of the area around whatever I want to delete, because this works. I work in pimples. I work more with this tool, the patch tool, but with this one is more for cover areas, like for example a dog that you want to cover the color here that you don't want to see it, so you use the stamp tool to do that. For in like for me is more effective to do that effect of erase something like that, more than hide something that there needs to be hide, like the skin problems, for example. But as I said, you shouldn't do like a lot, just like the areas that bothers you, because if you do too much, it's gonna give her later when we make the dodge and burn layer, it's gonna give her like a plastic look on her skin. Well, if you want, like, if you're going for that, yes, you have to clean the skin as much as you can. It has to be really perfect, but that is really, how do you say that? It's more for, I will say, like kind of fine art photography, as well with editorial photography. The editorial photography, fashion, they use it, but it's not that strong how they use it, because in fashion, even though they want, like when you edit for fashion, uh, you want to uh, have a perfect skin, but at the same time pretty natural, because on fashion photography as well, the makeup is really important. It's really really important. Sometimes it's the most important part, and depends on what project you're doing. So you see, I don't like how the thing fix that line, so I'm going to do one by one. Okay, I want to erase these ones, for example, but maybe this. Uh, Let me do it in a, in a new one, because I don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah, it works a little bit. Well, with this one, you can erase wrinkles or moles, or I don't know if it's called moles. I don't know, but like the black dots, like I have a lot, all of these ones. But if like it's really big, or the model asks you to do it or whatever, you can use that one. But you have to be really careful, because it's pretty destructive. Not on the way that you cannot like uh, go back on what you did. Like for example, here I'm doing this on a new layer, because if I fuck it up, I just erase this layer and that's it. Uh, what I'm saying? Sorry. So yeah, so this one is for erasing more like hair, for example. This one is really good for, like, if the model has a single hair, but it's all around her face or something like that. Is really annoying. Um, you can use this tool, but as I say, it's pretty destructive on the way that it's really strong what it does to the picture. It really take example on one part and just try to match it with that area. You see, it's hard. It's pretty hard, but the good thing is pretty far away. But you can see that this is a minor change on how it looks the eye. And maybe later I just with the stamp tool. Well, let's do it. Let's don't be lazy. Like now, let's take the stamp tool with S. That's the shortcut to the stamp tool. You take example here. Here is important when say example. Put all layers because if most of the time it's gonna be in the core layer or yeah, in core layer. No, core and below is really rare. Never see that one. So you put all layers and then you make like example here and you just maybe here a little bit more. Let me see. Yeah, it's just soften a little bit the skin, but it's not doing a really good job. Yeah, like for example, this line here bothers me a lot. So I'm going to try to change this one. But as you see, it gives like a kind of texture to the skin. It's like if you try to push it with your finger, like when you try to erase something with well, not erase, but you have a pencil or pen and you I don't know make a, or write something and you just pass it your hand or your finger on top of it and makes like a drag on the ink or on the pencil thing. I don't know how to say it. It's like dragging something. It's not making. It's not like making. It's not like making a new texture around it or making something to cover the area. It's more to just to paint with the colors of the skin. Let's say in this case. But as you see, it's something. We can leave it like that for now. I want to focus on another things for now. Because uh, I need to erase here some parts that blurs me a little bit. Oh, okay, yeah, maybe we need to be here. So yeah, for this kind of photography, that technique could be really useful. That make the skin really plastic, let's say. I don't know. But for another one, like for example, street photography, like right now, because like the industry of photography right now is pretty big, and I'm glad to have this new like era, let's say that now anyone can be a model, because before it was like the top model who is the girl who is really thin and most of the time with long hair and big breasts and long legs and these kind of things, it's like okay, that's the perfect model for blah, blah, blah. But now, like in 2021, I see more models, like more normal models than like the super models of the models that I used to see in magazines or all these kind of things. And I remember when I was a kid. Oh well, I wasn't a kid when I decided to become a photographer. I was like maybe well maybe 18, 20, like between that. Like I would say like a kid because right now I'm 30, so it's 10 years ago. When I was younger. But yeah, when I decided to become a photographer when I was around 19 or 20, maybe 18, because I present to, like, when I finish high school, I present myself to the national university, and it's pretty good here, but it's pretty hard to pass. And I present myself to biology, zootechnist, and to be a veterinary. And I passed to what it was, veterinary and biologist. Mm, but my mother is a doctor. She always told me what she had to see on the university, and it's really fucked up stuff. Like, she told me that once she had to see a kid, like a little girl, that she was burned all her face because she drank uh, acid. Like, okay, like the maid of the house, she put acid of some kind to clean the pots and all of this kind of heavy heavy stuff to clean on the dishes, like the metallic stuff. So she put a kind of acid, or really a strong solution on a yogurt uh, uh, glass, let's say, like a cup, a yogurt cup. And the girl thought that that was yogurt, and she took it and she put it, like, she tried to drink it. Of course, as soon as the acid took her lips, she jumped up and threw all the liquid on her face, and that was horrible. My mom told me that that was one of the worst cases that she ever seen, and that was one of the first years that she was in the university. So you can imagine what you can see on, for example, if you want to be a vet. My respect to them, man. Oof, I swear to God, my respect to them, because they have to see some shit that, yeah, I don't have the heart to um, to see it. Like, for example, a dog open up. Nope. I love animals, but I can't actually, that kind of things that happen to them. And here in Colombia, both. Okay. So I want to clean this area, but how? Maybe with the stamp tool, and let's just cover a little bit, a little bit. Yes. No, it could work. Yeah. You see, the stamp tool is better to cover some areas that you don't want in the picture, more than erase pimples and all of that. But no, that is good. But wrinkles, that is complicated. One of the things that I learned during these years, trying to learn Photoshop by myself, because I'm trying to learn Photoshop by myself. Well, and of course with online courses and all of those things, is that you shouldn't learn one technique, or a technique in specific. You should learn what the tools do, and with that and your experience, you just go forward and work with what is best on the picture, and if you think it's gonna work the best for the picture. So if I tell you, no, you use a stamp tool to just clean these areas and just the healing to the pimples, it's like, it's not true. It's better that I show you all the tools and what you can do with them, and then you choose what you want to use it. So, okay, so this area, I guess it looks better, right? Yeah, it looks better, but I don't want to play too much with it. Okay, yeah, now I have a freaking light that is bothering me here. Oh, later with the with the dodge and burn I will fix that area with a little bit of light and shadow. I can fix that area. Here, for example, oh, you see, I want to leave like these spots, this that you can see like there is some pimples, but it's not like bothering too much the entire picture, so it's okay. Here as well, here as well, it's fine. I like how her nose looks like, you know. The light is pretty good. Like the photographer is knew how to take this picture really well. Okay, now I want to raise these things because this, I guess it's like a bandana or something like that. I don't know how to call it in English. I guess it's called bandana. I don't know. So with this one, I'm going to use the lasso tool. This one here, or L, and you just make like a selection of the area that you want to erase. Here I make it too big. I make it bigger. You don't need to be precise or perfect, but as close as possible is fine. And then with the right click, you put fill. Important, you need to be on the layer that you want to erase the thing. If you're in a white layer, it's not gonna erase anything because there is nothing on that layer, okay? So press OK, and ta-da! Now you don't have it. And with Control D, you deselect the area. You see? Nice. Okay. I want to make the leaves a little bit bluish. And there is two ways that right now I have on my head. I'm gonna show you one, but I'm going to use another one, okay? So let's go to the normal one, the obviously one, Hue and Saturation. I guess it's gonna work. And there is two things you can do here. You just play here around this one, but it's gonna change. You see the entire thing, but you can fix it, doesn't matter. And you just change a color that you want. Like for example, I want something like that, right? But I don't want the skin to be affected. In any case that you want to use this technique, here is a layer that here the is not masking layer, it's a vector layer apparently here, and with a black brush, you see black and a brush, and with opacity of 100% of depends on what you want to do with this effect. Just paint over, and you see that it's painted back wherever you don't want to be affected with this filter. Like if I paint here, it's painted back. You see here how it changed? Well, it doesn't change too much, but let me put something different so you can see it change. You see? Now, for example, here, if I paint black this leaf, you see how it turns to deflect again, and it changes with a brush that you shouldn't. You need to have a soft brush. But anyway, that's the effect. You see? That's one way to change the 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 color of this is with the hue and saturation layer. Just paint back. Just paint back the difference. This is one, but I don't want to use this one. I'm going to use selective color. That make me play a little bit more with the specific color that I want. Here, when you put colors, you have all the colors: white, nitro, and black. And with this one, you see cyan, magenta, yellow. You just change here. For example, here the skin and the lips, like the red areas. You see. So it depends on how I change this. It affects this. So it's up to you what you want. In this case, I don't want to affect anything. Let's put all 0, 0, 0. 0. I just want to change the greens because I want to change the leaves to a little bit bluish. And for that, well, this one you need to have a little bit of experience, but I know that the yellow play with the blue. So if I change here, you see I'm gonna have a bluish tone here. The magenta plays with the green as well, so this is just like the tone, like the saturation, let's say, or the brightness maybe. Here's a little bit more greenish, here's a little bit more bluish because the magenta have green and magenta, and cyan is red and cyan. So here affects a little bit the reds you see on the top area here. It affects just that area a little bit, but I don't need this one. I just need the yellow and maybe the magenta a little bit. This one. And that's it, you see? With this one we change the color of the leaves. And you can use it for anything that you want. If you want to change the lips or the eyes. Well, the eyes, I rather use the technique of the hue and saturation because I make a selection with this with, with what I call it this. What is the name of this? Uh, elliptical margin tool. Sorry. With this one, it's better to have like select the eyes, and over that selection, you just make a hue and saturation, and you see how it changed just the eyes. And then of course you have to make a clean on the pupil and the 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 eyebrows and no the eyebrows the eyelashes and how do you say that? Ah, freak! I forget how to say that. This part of the eye. Ah, I forget. Anyway, so if you want to change the color of the eyes like this, if not, it's fine. I don't want, for example, I want to increase the color of these eyes already. So how are you going to do that? With a new layer, I come here to layers, well, to layer, new layer, in here, color, grade, overlaid, and this is important, fill, overlay, nature, color. This one has to be clicked, and you put OK. This is the layer of dash and burn, basically. We can use this one, as I said before, this tool, dash and burn, but in my opinion, is really strong what it does. Like you don't have a lot of control on what you do with these two tools, but you can use it if you want. What I want to do is use a brush tool, black and white, black for shadows, white for light, and the opacity just really low, like 6%, 4%, something like that. And I like to play first with the lights. And how to apply this is it's pretty simple. You just where the light hits, you see, it brights a little bit more the area of the light that it hits. And I like to do this area, the T area of the face, this part here, and the cheeks and the lips. That's like the most important part for me. Not all the pictures have that, of course. Not all the pictures needs to you to play with with that specific shape of T, but more of the time is that shape for this kind of pictures. Here you need to play too much with this, just a little bit, because with these things it's really easy to overdo it. So you just put a little bit where the light is hitting, like the lips, for example. Here you see like the highlights on her lips. So to like plus on fashion photography as well is pretty not important, but it's like a tip that some lecture gave me, but eh. The lecture is not that good, so don't put too much attention in what I'm gonna say. But if you want it, The lips are really important when you see a fashion or a portrait photography. For example, the lecture told me the first things that you see on a portrait photography are the eyes, of course, the most, and then you come to the nose, and then you go to the lips. So this area here is really important that you edit really well, but don't overdo it, because it's really easy to overdo these areas, as you see, for example, here in the nose, because it already have light like hitting on the nose from this area. So if I put more light here, it's gonna just, you see, it's gonna start to burn the skin. You see, like this kind of change area, like a little bit of yellowish orange. This is because of that. You see, so it's really easy to overdo it. Later I'm gonna show you how to like erase some areas, like clean some areas. So just start a little, like I'm gonna finish a little bit this one. Here on the eyes, I told you that I'm going to increase it. The This is what I want to do with the eyes. I just want to. This is the first step. Is two steps on what I like to do on the eyes. Is just make a little bit brighter here, but make a little bit like sort of a big area where the light is hitting more on the not in the middle, but more near to the pupil, I guess is the name, like this, the black area. So I'm going to overpaint here the closest part over the pupil, and then I'm going just to pass a little bit on the other areas, like around the eye. So I'm gonna make, you see, like a little bit a contrast between these two colors of blue in this case. Later I'm going to have like I'm going to put texture on the eye, so give a little bit more of depth on the eye. And of course it's a lot. Like if you want to leave it like that, it's nice. I like it sometimes like this. Not all the pictures, it depends on the pictures, but it's up to you. Well, now that we finish with the white or the highlight, you just change with X. You see how it changed? You change here the colors with X. X. I'm going to change to black. With black, and use the same process but on the dark areas. Ooh, wait, wait. The opacity is too strong. Okay, forest. I'm just going to put a little bit on the eyes, on the eyebrows. It's important, but I don't know. I like to put a little bit in the eyebrows. It make like the eyes a little bit, like this area a little bit more strong. Like you have more attention on that area here. If the eyebrows are a little bit more dark or of normal, and I know that I'm overdoing it. I know. Don't worry. I know that it's looking like pretty bad right now. But later I will show you how to reduce the some areas of the entire thing. On the cheeks, maybe a little bit here, on here, so it makes the face a little bit more thinner. If you see, just a little bit, but you see the change here, right? It gives more life to the face or onto the light. Uh, in the lips, maybe a little bit here, just a little bit here, to make kind of depth, like a little bit more of three-dimensionality to the lips, even though it's already three-dimensional, but it's fine. And here on the hair is like, here I actually want to put a little bit more. Here I want to increase the shadows because I forgot to make the highlights on the hair, and this is really important. This, you see, like these areas here, like where the light is hitting, this is really important if you want to make the hair pop a little bit more. Is these parts here, like make a kind of highlight, like sort of a highlight, but it's more on the areas of the hair that is like more with more light, with more luminosity. It's hard to translate some words, I swear. Here I want a little bit of light. And then you're going to put shadow on the shadow of the hair. So you're gonna make it pop way more. Here for example I want a little bit more of light. But here I want a little bit more of shadow. So yeah, so you can see the hair, how it changed. Wait, wait, give me a second. Here, okay. You see how it changed the hair? Here I need a little bit more. Maybe here. Have a little bit more of exposure here. We have a little bit like okay. So you can see before after. It gives a huge change, and I like how it gives sort of a contrast in the hair. You see, like look in the hair, like, look at this area. Okay, so now I'm going to put this layer mask. You see, it calls it layer mask. That's why I say layer mask all the time. Layer mask, and then is a vector mask when it's a second one. Okay, okay, okay. A layer mask. This is good. I can learn with you guys. And then with a brush with something like this, maybe, and a black brush, I'm just going to paint over the areas that I don't want to be with the effect that much. And I just like to click, I don't like to drag the mouse a lot. And maybe the eyebrows a little bit without effect. This one, the cheeks maybe a little bit less. Here maybe a little bit less. I guess I like it. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit of highlight here on the upper lip. Just a little bit. Wait, maybe. I, fuck, I'm not doing anything. I'm burning the skin. I'm burning the skin. I'm burning the skin. I want to have a little bit more of contrast. Okay. The nose maybe yes a little bit the shadow here on the nostrils. Whoop. I'm not finding it. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Good. A little bit here. Good. Okay. So, but what is a change? You know, I like it. Now, for the texture of the eye, as I told you, I'm going to have a curve layer and go all the way up. Something like this. Yeah, something like that. And then with Control I going to inverse this layer and now I need to increase this one a little bit more. With a brush, this is with a brush but with a white brush. We are going to come really close and start painting this. You see these strokes? You see that strokes? Well, we are gonna paint this on the entire eye, okay? both of them. With this, doesn't matter if you need to be precise. If you want to take your time, do it. I recommend you to do it. I already have a little bit of practice on doing that circle, so I don't take too much time. But it's better if you take your time doing this, doing line by line and with calm, how big you want it to the texture goes. So just take your time doing this. Okay, you see that I overdid it here a little bit, but you see the texture it gives. Okay, so now with a black brush and the opacity a little bit lower, I'm just going to paint on the corners and like the borders of what we just did to faint it a little bit, to make it a little bit more natural. No, not too strong. Well, not too strong, but like to have like a transition. Same here. Here on top, where is the dark part of the eye, and here a little bit, and here a little bit. Good. Now, if you want to reduce it a little bit, oh well, actually, if you want to change it, I'm not sure if you, yeah, I'm sure yes, but I'm not sure if you changed a lot. Well, luminosity is pretty nice. It looks pretty nice, and hard mix as well. Well, let's leave it in luminosity. It's pretty nice. So with this one, now that I have the picture like this far away, I realize that this eye is pretty strong. Like it looks really strong. So I'm just going to cover a little bit both of these. I'm not gonna make it that strong on that eye because I have shadow, of course. So, but now I I overdid it. Maybe a little bit more. Let me fix it. With a little bit more brightness here and here again a little bit more of what I need a little bit more of texture, let's say something like this, blah 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 blah. Not too much. A little bit too much. That's what I'm saying. It's like just try it, and if you like it, try it again, and if you like it, try it again until you have something that you like, or it match a little bit, you know. Okay, I guess I guess that's fine right now, right? Yeah, the ice is fine, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna leave it like that. Okay, so what else? What else? What else? We did the lips, we did the eyes, we did the skin. Should we change the color of the lips? Like, I don't mind the red, like this red, but I'm not sure if like that is the color that it makes for this picture. What do you say? Okay, let's try to do something. I'm going to I'm going to take her lips and do an experiment. On the layer that is the original picture, I'm going to have the quick selection tool. Just take her lips really badly, of course, If I want to do this correctly, I should use the pen tool, of course, and Control J to make a copy of what I select, and we have the lips here. Now with Control U, you have the panel of hue and saturation on the layer. ¿Pero de qué color? uh, when you put Control U, you open this hue and saturation on the layer that you are, so you can change just on that layer. You see? You see? Blah, 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 blah. Uy, neón. Pero es que neón no cuadra mucho con toda la foto. Maybe no blue, of course not. But maybe, ¿qué tal un violeta magenta? ¿No? A ver, ¿qué dices? ¿Mm? ¿O qué opinas? Ya, obviamente no sé si tan saturado. Algo más desaturadito. O un azul. No? I don't know. Like, like, someone told me that, violet is really nice. Someone told me that neon, but neon is not a color, by the way. That's another thing. Neon is not a color. Uh, and violet is not bad, but let me see something. Okay, let me check what is the color of, like, the complementary color of this one. Let's let's. I guess I have violeta neon. Violeta. Violeta neon. Violeta just neon. uh, Let me see if color wheel más brilloso. O sea, pero un violeta neón que sea como por ejemplo una fuente de luz, porque eso sería raro. Okay, I forgot how to use this one. New color, no, extra gradient, extra color wheel. I totally forgot how to use the Photoshop one, the Adobe one. Yeah, there is another way, but doesn't matter. Okay, so we have these colors for the lips. Se puede volver más brilloso. ¿Qué te digo ya? Pues ahí tenemos los colores que son los complementarios del violeta. These are the complementary colors of the violet. Like if we want, like this color is for the hair. Ese color es por el pelo de ella. So if we want to change her lips that is not red, in theory we should use these colors, that is the complementary color of, well, the analog of colors, because here is the monochromatic and all of that shit. But complementary could be, let's see what is the complementary color of this one. Yellow. ¿Qué tal un amarillo? ¿Qué opinas de un amarillo? Split complementary. No, but Puede ser, ¿cierto? Un shallow bien shallow. Podríamos intentar con el amarillo. Okay, now let's come back. With the shallow. Okay, with the shallow. Let's see how it looks yellow. Okay, here I going instead of playing with this one that is give me random colors, I'm going to click colorize and it's gonna give me the exact color that I want. Si quieres coger el color exacto que quieres utilizar, o sea, si quieres utilizar hielo, por ejemplo, hielo, si quieres utilizar amarillo en este caso, clique aquí donde dice colorizar en español. Y eso sí ya te da una precisión mucho más exacta del color que quieres. Aquí, utilizando esto. So, yellow. Yellow kind of orange. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. No me convence. Yellow, 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 nope. I mean, of course I need to clean and blah 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 blah. But, I don't know. It doesn't click me. Wait, what I'm using? I forgot what I was doing. Oh well, the selection, of course. Ese amarillo pollito. I don't like it. I don't like the yellow. You know, I don't like the yellow. I don't like the yellow. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to. Well, first make a better selection of the lips. That's for sure. Um, I don't like the yellow. You know why? Because the yellow doesn't match too well with the blue of the the plants of the lips. You know, this yellow, like this neo yellow, doesn't match too well with this. Like it gives a warm tone instead of da un tono caliente en vez de un tono frío como es la foto, como es toda la foto. Like the entire picture is like bluish, like cold, like her eyes are freaking blue. So I guess the better thing that we can do, in my opinion, and if you let me say something, because if you don't let me, maybe I just shut up. But I think so, y yo creo que va a ser lo mejor, is take the color of the eyes and make it like the complementary color. Like try to find the complementary color of this blue, for example. So let's go back to here. Okay, so let's put this blue. Ah, marico. Are you for real? Like this too? Real? A ver, pongamos another. This is a neon color, like this is a pretty neon color, like this aqua tur, 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 turquoise is called, I don't know. Turquoise, I don't know how to say. And bluish, it could like greenish bluish. It can mix better with the picture, I think so. What about a dark color? What do you think? ¿Ah? ¿Qué piensas de un color más oscuro como este? ¿Mm? I guess I'm going to leave. ¿Qué hace gorda, hijo de madre? ¿Qué es las aperías? A ver, I don't know, orange maybe? Or we leave it like that? Let's try it one more time. Let's try one more time. Let's try one more time uh, with orange or bluish, right? This is the bluish that Adobe gave us. Give us, sorry. Uh, it could be a little bit more dark, maybe a little bit more bluish. But this is too greenish. Es muy verde. El tercero del oscuro. ¿Cuál es el tercero del oscuro? El tercero del oscuro. Verde, ¿no? Green, ¿no? But because this bluish is a little bit greenish, that's the thing. Like that color is like something like that, right? So we have this one, let's say, right? Now let's make a copy of this one and let's do the same thing, but what was the another one? Orange, like orangey. No, I need to colorize. Orangey. No. Nope. No, it make her peel too much. Like her skin is too pale. Se ve demasiado pálida con los labios así. Nope. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. If we leave it, no, like here and something like this. What do you think? Because this no, I don't know. I'd rather use this one than this one, or none. Now that I'm looking the red, I like the red. I rather prefiero utilizar el rojo. I rather use this red, I guess. Yeah, because otherwise it's gonna look too pale. The blue one, this one. But between the blue and the red, which one do you like more? Because don't you think that the blue is like too blue here and here and here? And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It could be. I mean, it gives like an entire like composition on blue on cold colors and that thing. But I'm not sure if it's too much. You know what I mean? Thank you for being right. The red is way better. Yeah, thank you very much. Because it gives like sort of a contrast between all the blue, right? Yeah, of course, it's way better, yeah. So I think it's better to leave it like that. Just maybe here on the lips, you see, like, it's a little bit, like, uh, uh, it needs a little bit more. I just, most of the time, I just with a brush, a new layer, that's important. Make it a new layer because otherwise you're gonna ruin everything. I make an example with Alt, you see, change here, and you have this. Well, not this, a little bit more brighter. And just click a little bit. Click, don't paint, click, and then you change the mode to something that it match a little bit the lip, something like that. A little bit. Uh, nope, too much. Yeah, this one. Nope, this one no. Wait, this one. Okay, soft light, and maybe fix it a little bit more. I hate when these things that like no one see actually, but annoys me the hell out of me because I notice straight away. Anyway, um, okay. What else? What else? What do we have here? We already did this. We did the eyes. This the texture of the eyes. We don't need to do more. Maybe a little bit here on these spotlights. Here, just a little. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Too much. A little bit, just a little bit here. So she can look like an animal girl, like an a waifu. I guess, right? Like not too much, just a bit. What else? What else? I guess that's it. Like we can finish with a camera raw filter, and that's it. Like, okay, this is why I just always make a copy of the original. Okay, this is the original. This is the original picture. This is what we have done. Not bad, actually. Not bad to I mean to just play it around, and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, so it's not bad result. You know what we can do? Yeah, actually, it looks. We can maybe. Let me try with bright and contrast. Maybe make the. Thank you very much. Maybe put a little bit like a little bit more emphasize, like a little bit more of the light on her face, right? I'm just trying to figure something out to make this more interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to take the bright and contrast layer, right? Just put it down, I guess, and just with this and black, right? Boom, 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 a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Well, so we have like something like a natural vignette, like it doesn't look too digital, like if I do it with a camera raw, because in the camera raw the problem is, right, it looks nice with just this small change. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's made on natural light, that's true. So maybe even though to make it a little bit like pop a little bit more the eyes, just paint a little bit more the eyes to make it a little bit more brighter. I have a problem with the eyes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I mean, you can edit. I mean, all what I'm doing, like all of these edits and all of this, I uploaded all of this on YouTube. So if you want to watch it later and just copy what I'm doing, just go ahead and do it. Or if you want to send me one of your pictures and I edit here on a stream as well, you can do it for sure. That is not a problem. What else? Right? Maybe it's too strong, a little bit too strong. Maybe. 80%, something like that. Yeah. Now, I guess we can finish this one with a camera raw because it's already 1 hour on one picture. Sure, man. I don't have a lot of stuff there, but sure. Is Rick part of photography my YouTube channel if you want to? Ooh, that's nice. Even if your pictures are difficult, it's even nicer to edit that kind of pictures. Because these pictures where the model is kind of in a good position, good light, and all of this is like kind of a routine, like you know what to do, you know what to tack, and you know what to do on the entire picture. But when the picture is a little bit complicated, you use this to make it a little bit more interesting. So it's really nice to edit difficult pictures. Later I show you, or maybe in my YouTube channel you can see some kind of photo manipulations, and that pictures are completely different than this kind of photos that I do. That you need to think a little bit more on create light and shadows and where is the composition and all of these things. Okay, sorry, I'm going to away of the topic. Yeah, my pictures actually, I going to take pictures of myself, like my style of photography, and I going to edit in direct, and you will see like how my style of photography it is, because this is not my style of photography. My style of photography is pretty dark. It's pretty, yeah, it's you will see. You will see when I show you. Okay, so when let me finish this one because I'm talking too much. uh, I want to combine everything, right? So if I want to combine all of these layers in one layer, but without destructing like all of the layers, to merge everything and don't have the rest of the layers, I know that you didn't understand shit, but just follow what I'm saying. Just put Control Shift Alt E, and you will see that you have a new layer, layer number 6. This layer is all the layers above, like whatever layer is above, it makes a new layer, and in this layer, mil gracias, T. Luego edito una foto en mi estilo, o algo que se me ocurre. And on this layer that you make, this one, uh, you have two options, depends on the computer that you use, that put a smart object. And actually, I advise you to put most of the things, like if you are gonna use photos or parts of pictures, all of them transform them on on smart objects, because it gives you a way larger opportunity to fuck it up and fix it. Because when you do this, like for example, I'm going to do it right, and I do a camera raw filter. If my computer doesn't explode, because that is the problem with the smart objects. When you use a lot of smart objects, you're gonna use a lot of the RAM of the computer, but a lot, like shit tons of RAM. So if you have 20 pictures and all of them are smart objects, your computer are gonna just explode in your face. If you don't have a good computer, like is my case. If you have a good computer, I advise you a lot to use Camera Raw. Like for example, here, I don't know, I just play blah blah blah. Like, oh yes, I like to play with this, blah blah blah. It looks nice. So you see, it because if it's a camera raw, because it's a smart object, it gives me this filter that I can paint on top of this and remove what I did on this filter of the camera raw, and as well it gives me this camera raw filter that I can double click and like and play with what I just played. You see, I have all the things that I move as I just did. Like it doesn't change anything. If I don't have this let me okay. If I don't have this layer as a camera raw, whatever change that I do is permanent. Is permanent. Is you cannot change it anymore. That's why it's really good to use. It looks really nice. I don't know what I did, but it looks really nice. You see, here if I want to erase, for example, or I want to erase this in the eyes or a little bit the filter, I cannot. I have to make a masking layer and try to erase this one, but it doesn't change the entire filter. Like it's really destructive if you don't use that kind of things. But you need to have a good computer. And yeah, this is my kind of photography actually. This type of image and darkness and thing is my type of photography. But we are doing fashion photography, so I'm not going to do that. So now I'm just going to have a camera raw filter, and you press Ctrl Shift A to open the camera filter panel. And here I'm just going to just play a little bit with especially with the highlights. That's it. No, that's more like contrast and highlights. That's it. Like here, a little bit more, pop a little bit more. In texture and clarity, I like to put the clarity a little bit lower to have like a dehaze effect, like kind of smooth, like a smooth, like it make the skin a little bit smooth. You see, if you put it 100%, but you lose texture on the hair. So on texture, I like to increase it a little bit more. So I have a little bit of both. So it's smooth a little bit the skin, but you have a little bit of texture on the hair. Brightness and saturations, I don't play too much with it, but if you want, you can. It's like this is the like how strong the colors it is, like the saturation, and the vibrance is more like the tone of the color, like how strong you want the blue to be blue and the you see it, like the red to be the red and the purple to be purple. That is the brightness or the bright. Fuck, I forgot how to say it. Well, this thing. Okay, important here. The most important thing for me, I guess, is the curves. And if you want to have like an effect, like Instagram effect, like yeah, that's called an Instagram effect. Fuck it. You use this. Just follow this. Okay, you are gonna put one here, another one here, another one here, and another one there. Okay, you're gonna have 4 dots. Well, actually, are 6 dots, but you're gonna put these 4 too. And on the last one, you're gonna increase here to mute the shadows. You see, you mute the blacks here. You crush the blacks, basically. That's how to say it, and that gives this kind of mute Instagram effect. Where, well, most of the time there is with the window with the rain of water in front of them, and they put this kind of thing. So it's kind of different. But here you just play a little bit more with the highlights and the shadows, and especially the colors. Here is really important to play with the colors because here you can get a specific tone that you cannot get in another area on Photoshop. Like here, for example, I want the skin to be a little bit more reddish, not too much, just a little bit more. Good. Now the greens, maybe the shadows, I want it to be a little bit. This one I don't want. This one I don't want. This one I don't need. But this one a little bit, yes. This one. To have like a tint of green on the shadows, you see? So just put a little bit there. And here's gonna be interesting, the blue and yellows. A little bit more to the skin, no, but to the highlights a little bit more. And let's mute a little bit the bluish. Let's crush. Okay, you see? It gives kind of, no, I won't say professional look, but a little bit more interesting look, let's say. And this is really important to use it's pretty nice. It's like, and you just play around with these four dots, like you play with this one and just play around a little bit, and for a lot of pictures you have a little of tint on all the entire picture that merge everything together. So it's pretty nice. What else? Well, calibration. Yeah, actually, I like to play with calibration. Here is really depends on what you want because it changes a lot of the colors. You see. So for reds, I like to see in the reds a little bit on the skin because you see that it affects a lot the skin. So I like to put the skin a little bit more orange, not going to yellow, but a little bit more orangey. Um, well, this is the the blues reddish, and I don't need to change a little bit this one. This is up to you. That this is really up to you. Is if you want more, you can leave it more. You cannot do it wrong here. It's like that. There is no wrong editing here. There is no way to make it this really bad. Let's say, nah, forget about that. With the blues, let's say what we have with. This is Instagram. This is an Instagram effect. This is a filter of Instagram as shit. Where the blue is like this and the skin is like this. Let's put it like something like that. And the blue of her eyes are a little bit too blue. So I want to go to color mixed. Here on bluish, and the saturation maybe go a little bit down. Same with the light. Right? Yeah, a little bit, not too much. Just the saturation. And maybe the lights a little bit more. Okay. Now let's come back a little bit to the darks, shadows. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. that's the effect. But the good thing is the orange and the blue are complementary colors. So even though if you cross a little bit the line on any of that colors, it doesn't look bad if the another one is it doesn't saturate the entire picture. For example, the reds in this case are blur me a little bit. The red of her lips. So I'm going to put it a little bit down. Yep, a bit, not too much. Okay, I guess that's it. Boom, the change. That's a change. Okay, so this is before and this is after. What do you think? I like it. I don't. Maybe is the light is a little bit too strong right now. Maybe, but this is the case. This is why I told you to use a smart object to play with this because right now I could go back to whatever filter that I did and I reduce the highlights, you see. But because I didn't, now I need to put another camera raw filter on top of what we did, you see. So that's why this is really important to use smart objects. So if you can use it, believe me, use it. It's really. Ay, ¿quién es esa gorda, hijo de mi chica? If you can use it, it's better. Because right now, for example, how can I. Right now, I really cannot fix this, really, too much. More than put the exposure a little bit lower and the shadows a little bit higher. That's it. But you see that this is not a fix. This is why you need to use a camera raw filter, a small object. You see? Now there is nothing that really I can do. Like like to fix this area, I have to, for example, take the lasso tool and fill this area with something. But uh, you see, is this is why it's really important sometimes to think what you're gonna do before all of that. Um, what can I do? For example, I can mute a little bit the lights. So thank you very much. I have two Instagrams. One is for this kind of photography, and another one is for photo manipulations. So there on Zone, I upload, but there's a long time that I haven't uploaded something. Maybe this one I can upload. Okay, so I have an idea how to fix the burn here on her nose with the light. So we double click on the layer. We're gonna have this one. Is the fusion? Well, I don't know how to say the name in English. Anyway, and here in these things are like with these two layers on the first how to say that, on the first options, let's say. Well, no, the first option is that, well, in blending options, let's say, here you have this layer. Okay, in this one you can play with the darks, you see, to remove the dark areas, or to remove the brightest areas here. But if you, with alt, you click, you separate this thing, right? So you just make the change a little bit smoother on the highlights, and you can play with this on, well, this one I'm not sure it's gonna work, this one, right? But you can play a little bit to make the shadow goes a little bit lower, but the shadow, the highlights are go a little bit lower. But as I said, it's really complicated to fix these kind of things if, oof, you see the noise. To fix these kind of things if you're not using a smart object. So I guess I'm not gonna play anymore with this because I feel that if I touch a little bit more the nose, I'm gonna overdo it more, and I guess it's fine. Like, it's not too bright right now. Like, yeah, I guess it's fine. Okay, so let's resume a little bit of what we did, because we did a little bit. Okay, so first, what we did, we remove the bandana, the thing here, over here, right? This, the bandana. Then, well, the lips, we fixed the lips, her lips, but that was not in order. Then we change the color of the leaves with a selective color here, when using this, a selective color with this, we change the color of the leaves from green to a little bit more bluish. What we did next, we fixed this area here that we have a like a red spot here, you see. So with this one we use the stamp tool, right? This one, the clone stamp tool, sorry for saying the names wrong, to make it a little bit, like, fix it a little bit. What we did next, here the eyes as well, the wrinkles a little bit. Here we use the stamp tool and the healing brush tool, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, same with the skin. With the skin we use the patch tool. This one was entire skin. With the pimples and all of that, we use this. Now we did the dash and burn, the change. This one, you know what? But it's okay. We did the dash and burn is fine. Then what we did, the texture of the eyes. You see, with a curve layer, we increase the shade up and we inverse, and we just make lines to make the texture of that. And what else we did? Oh well, then we did the shadows and the light and the thing, and then the camera raw. It's actually not a lot of work. I thought it was gonna be a lot of more work, but it's not too much. Which lines? Which ones? The curves? Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to play with these kind of things. So okay, let's let's leave it like this. I'm not gonna play anymore with this. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The texture of her eyes. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And it's a trick that no one really knows. It's just like if you put a little bit of different contrast on her eyes, it's gonna pop like a lot. Like believe me, if her eyes is blue and you increase the eyes a little bit a little bit more. Sorry, I was reading your comment. Uh, and then you put a little bit more of the contrast, the eyes just pop out a little bit more. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being with me on the stream. Really, whatever you saying and everything, it helped me a lot of doing these kind of things because well, it's like it depends on the picture. Like it's not necessary retouch everything like the eyes, the lips, the nose. It depends on what you want. Like for example, in this case, I really want the eyes to pop a lot. Like that one to be the main thing on the picture. So that's why I over edit the eyes. But it's like with intention, you know. But if you don't want to edit eyes, it's not necessary. But as I said, is really good to know um, your tools. You know, like if you really want to retouch the eyes, it's better you know three, four, five different ways to do it instead of for example someone to tell you, okay, you take the layer and you just paint it like that. Nah, and plus you don't learn it like this. You know, you learn more if you try by yourself and you see the things that it works for you and your style of photography. Like for example, this kind of photography, this kind of edits can work as you say that you're doing portrait photography. It can work for your portfolio, but maybe for a client is too much, you know. But it's good that you know this kind of edits. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Portrait photography retouch the eyes makes those eyes. Yeah, that is true, but with time and with experience and looking to your own work and see how you progress, you will see like you will start to learn on how much work you have to put on it. Like for example, in this case, I admitted that I overdid a lot, but I wanted to do it. You know, in this case, I wanted to overdo it, but it's really up to you. Plus, photography is an express of art, and even though if it's a way to pay the bills, let's say like this, is like someone hires you for editing or for taking a picture is because they like your work, not because they expect something that they have on their heads. That is something that we need to change on our industry. That we are working for people instead of working for our work. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please leave me your Instagram, or if you have me on Instagram, just send me a DM and I'm gonna check your your work, and for sure we can work. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna follow you right now, but but my phone is here. I'm talking you by my phone, so I got it right now. So after I finish this one, I gonna check, and maybe in the next stream I can edit one of your pictures, or we can edit together at the same time or something like that. I don't know. We can do something like that to do something different, you know. Okay, thank you very much again to be with me, guys. Really, without you guys, this is gonna be really, really, really boring. and I learning a lot as well trying to explain all of this. So it helps me a lot. So thank you very much, guys. That's cool, man. Oof. Please, please. I gonna follow you, and every time that you do streams, I gonna be there. I want to see what you can do as well. And thank you very much for the following, following, follow. Okay, thank you very much for the follow. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave because I need to take out my dog out, and I will see you tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow depends. I will let you know on Instagram maybe. Okay, and thank you very much again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good night. You too. You too. Thank you very much for everything.